Howdy gang, today I'm going to be complaining quite a lot, so bear with me. Before we get started, I do want to mention that I do think the Institute is a great villain idea conceptually. I just really wish Bethesda went a little bit further with it, as it feels like they fall flat in my opinion. In my opinion, Shaun could have been a far better villain. Shaun, in my opinion, fell really lame in my opinion. He was just like a crabby old man who basically just whined all the time. I didn't like him. And I get that's kind of the point. You're not really supposed to like him. You're supposed to replace him. But still, he kind of gives you the wrong vibe about the Institute. He makes them feel more like a bunch of stuck-up scientists, which, don't get me wrong, they are, but that's kind of all he makes them feel like. He doesn't really exhort their power as much as I wish he would have. Which is why I wish Bethesda had made them more of a villain option than they are. Take the Enclave or Caesar's Legion, for example. They're terrifying. They have such power and control, and they have that presence that makes you scared of them or want to join them if you're a little bit crazy. That same vibe. I just feel like the Institute got the short end of the stick. Caesar's Legion and the Enclave were fleshed out so well into these terrifying and imposing threats that still to this day are iconic to the Fallout franchise. The Institute, while still incredibly iconic, just feels slightly less villainish in my opinion. The idea of a shadow organization kidnapping people and replacing them with robots is super cool conceptually. I just wish Bethesda didn't shoot themselves in the foot when it came to executing it. It just feels like they kind of brushed it under the doormat and completely forgot about it. I wish we got more quests where you'd encounter either a synth version of yourself, your companion, or an NPC you've grown to trust. That would put more doubt in your mind about who's a synth and who's not, more than the game already established. I would have loved Institute quests where you kidnap scientists from other factions and clone their brains into another synth so that you could get an advantage against them. That would be cool. And Bethesda missed the mark in my opinion. In my opinion, I've never really gone the Institute route purely because I felt like it was boring. No offense to anyone who thinks that the Institute is incredibly interesting and is their favorite go-to route. In my opinion, it just missed a few marks for me. If I want to be a villain, I'm going to be as villainish as possible, which is kind of what makes the Institute a hard choice for me, because they don't really feel villainous. They more or less just feel like all the other factions. They believe what they're doing is right, but they're just slightly less moral about it. They're more incorrect. But that's something that should have been built on slightly more. And I kind of hate Kid Shaun, the little synth boy. I don't like him. I thought he was really stupid when I first encountered him. I knew it wasn't Shaun, but I was like, this is stupid. Why would you make this? This is really dumb in my opinion. It would have been way cooler if in some random chance Shaun had somehow managed to recreate the family you always wanted, dead spouse included, and was like, oh, this is what you wanted, isn't it? So, back about taking over humanity. That would have been slightly cooler than just some child who keeps asking me for vacuum tubes. It's kind of irritating. But the other thing I do want to complain about is the Institute's gear in general. I hate the Institute's gear. It is all so boring, and it is all so lame. You literally cannot tell me that this isn't the boringest stuff ever. Don't get me wrong, I get it. The synth armor is meant for a synth. But, you guys couldn't have made people armor by chance once I joined your faction because I'm the only person who goes outside, who touches grass here? Hello? Don't get me wrong. The Institute is really cool on the inside. I love the actual breathing plants, the clean infrastructure, the orderly place they contain. But I wish they expanded on that expedition more, wanting to control more of the Commonwealth over the course of the game to create cleaner areas that are off limits to wastelanders. That would have been cool. I get it. They're maintaining that shadow organization vibe, but the CIT building could have been somewhat taken over in my opinion. Though, I get it, they wanted to keep the mystery of it, but still, there should have been something built on it. Overall, I don't think the Institute turned out as great as it could have. I would have loved to see more villainish acts from the Institute. The act of kidnapping, the act of making you witness what they were doing. The people you trust going missing would have been cool. And instead, it fell slightly flat, and it made me slightly sad when I first played the game. I was disappointed that the super scary shadow organization, who sounded really cool, turned out to be run by the most annoying old man ever, who I hate with all my heart. He sucks. Shaun is awful. But it's like Kellogg, too. I was so scared when I first killed Kellogg that I thought the Institute was going to send more synths after me, more coursers as revenge for killing their prized mercenary, only to find out that Shaun didn't give a crap about Kellogg. In the slightest. It really annoyed me when that happened because I was like, dude, what? Hello? That could have been such a cool plot point. Somebody could have come after us. Someone could have killed someone you cared about. Why on earth does this old man not care about anything? I hate him so much. He makes me so angry. Once again, this is my opinion, and I love to complain about things, so I'd love to hear your guys' opinion if you think the Institute could have been better or if it's perfect the way it is. Ta-ta, and see you next time.